So we're just going to head out now on Route 2 in Tallaght, which is probably the easiest route. Again, we're going to be turning right out of the test centre, back down Broomhill Road. So leaving the parking space, take good observation left and right. Take it nice and slow coming out to the hedge. Make sure you look up and down the footpath. Stopping, waiting for the suitable gap. Once it's clear, then we're going to move out onto Broomhill Road. So very similar to Route 1. Just keep an eye here. There's usually a lot of trucks and vans around. We see we have a truck in on the left hand side. We're just going to indicate briefly, move out. Watch for anyone stepping out from in front of the truck, and then back into position once you get back in. We have another truck reversing out here on our left. We have to be careful. So just stopping back from the motorcyclist. Now at the end of Broomhill Road here, we're going to be turning left, but then immediately right. So in many ways it's fairly similar to Route 1, just more or less Route 1 backwards. The end of the road, then we're turning left. So mirrors and signal. Once again, make sure you come to a complete stop down to the line. You don't have to stop at the sign. You can go down as far as the line, stop, and then move out slowly. Have a look, make sure it's clear, both sides, and then go. And then we're indicating right. Then we're turning right in just before the Peugeot garage. Again, don't go too far forward here. It's very easy to overshoot the turn. Car here is flashing us to go. Always make sure that even though they are beckoning you to go, that it is safe, and never beckon anyone yourself. If somebody does let you out, it's quite okay to thank them. That's perfectly fine. Just turning right here at the past Power City. Again, no road marking, so we just have to be careful. Waiting for this oncoming vehicle. Look left and right, make sure it's safe, and we're turning in. And this road is quite uneven, so take it nice and easy. Park car up ahead. So again, we're just going to stay out. Don't go back in and then back out again unless you need to pull in if somebody's approaching. There's a good wide road here. Down to the end and go right. No road markings here, no stop or yield sign. Sometimes people pull out of here and they think they've right away, but obviously it is a T-junction, so you need to come to a complete stop. Look left and right. Make sure it's clear, and then move out a bit safe. At the end of this road, we're going to be turning left back out onto Greenhills Road. Again, you can see the yield markings on the road, but there's also a stop line, so you do need to come to a stop here. And then once it's safe, proceed out. We're going straight ahead of the lights, back up towards Tallaght Village. Stop where you can see the back wheels of the car in front. Keeping our distance from the learner, going quite slow, so we're just dropping back into third gear. Now coming up into the main junction in Tallaght Village, we're going to be turning left. They don't use this route very often, we're just stopping here now because the pedestrian lights are gone amber and red. They don't use this route very often because the traffic can be quite heavy, particularly at certain times of the evening. You'll be sitting in traffic along here for quite a while, so they tend to avoid the route. But it is probably the easiest route of only the ones they use. So once the light goes green, just a quick check in your mirrors again, just make sure there's no cyclists around. We're going to be turning left. Obviously in normal driving you'd be in on the left here, but we have some road work, so we're just keeping out from the cones. Traffic is just moving off, so again, just check your mirrors. Moving back into position once we pass the truck here. We're following the arrows here, so we're turning left. Careful not to get too close as you clip the curb, but don't go wide either. There's still 30 kilometers an hour in here. It becomes 50 then just once you pass this sign, once you come over the ramp. Get up to 50 if you can. We're going to be taking the next road on the left and into the next estate, which is into Bancroft, and this is where they bring it for your reverse around the corner. There's 3 corners in here they can use. There's 2 on the left and then 1 when you turn right. Careful coming in here, it's quite a tight turn, don't go into the cycle lane too early, don't clip the curb. So we're going to take a right here, so there's a corner up here on the left they often use, but they use this one up here on the right as well quite a bit. So again, turning in right, watch for the parked cars here, somebody coming out of the road could be on your side, so you have to wait for them. So once again, they normally pull you in before the reverse, before the road, and explain what they want you to do. Then you drive past the road, you pull in and stop, so mirrors, signal, don't get too close to the curb, and then they'll ask you to reverse back into the road, continue reversing while it's safe to do so, keeping reasonably close to the left, and the tester will tell you then when you've gone back far enough. So again, good observation all around. This corner is downhill, so you really don't need to do too much other than let the car roll back. Just keep it nice and slow. Just once you get to the point where you turn the wheel, it's a good idea to stop briefly, look over your right shoulder, make sure you're not going to get in anyone's way. Again, take that nice and easy, looking all around all the time. If anyone comes behind, just make sure you stop. It's a good idea maybe to put your window down a little bit as well, because you might hear somebody before you actually see them. So keep going back until the tester tells you to stop. So once you've done that, then just, you're on the hill here as well, so apply the handbrake back into first gear. He'll ask you to move off and turn right. So again, mirror, signal, don't forget to check your blind spot over your right shoulder. At the T-junction then, just take it nice and slow, looking left and right. And then we're coming down to the end of the road here, we're turning left, coming back out of the estate, back onto the main Tallaght Road. So again, mirror, signal. The car stopped ahead of us, but we have to come up and stop again at the stop line once they move off. So they've moved, so again we move up, just stop. And then we can move out a little bit, don't go into the cycle lane, but if you move out a little you get a view of the road. So nobody there, we head out. It's a tight turn, so you want to be careful. Once you're out then, back up to 50 and into 4th gear. Careful not to go over the speed limit here, it's a good long stretch of road, it's very easy to get it up to 60 or so here, but keep an eye, it's still 50. We're going to be turning left down here, so again, keep out of the bus lane. Signal, and then we move across here, across the cycle lane. Again, make sure there's no cyclists coming down, and we're turning left. So you can see the left arrows here, so we just go in and wait at the lights. mirrors again, particularly your left mirror for any cyclists. And around we go, keeping out of the cycle track. So this is back onto Castle Timon Road. We came the opposite direction here on Route 1. Over the ramps. Again, we can do the third gear. Staying in third. After this one there's a good gap, so we can get back up into fourth gear. Staying in third gear here, there's a good gap. Not good enough to go into fourth. After this one now there's a bigger gap, so we can give it a bit of gas and back into fourth gear. Put another ramp around the bend here, so we're just going to slow it down, back into third. Staying in third gear. And then we're taking the next left. So again, back down into second. So along here they probably will pull you in for your hill start. It's a steep enough hill, but as usual, make sure you get to the bike point and check your blind spot moving off. Ramps here are quite high, so just take it nice and easy. We're going to be taking the next right. This brings us just into a cul-de-sac where they'll do the turnabout with you. So check mirrors, signal right, back into second gear. Again, turning around the centre of the road, but don't go in behind the parked car. And then we're just going to pull in on the left up here. So the tester will then ask you to turn the car around on the road and say you can go over and back more than once if necessary. So the if necessary are the key words. So if you go over and back more than once and he feels it wasn't necessary because you didn't steer quick enough or you were too fast, you could get marked. So again, before moving off, mirrors, signal, all around, check your blind spots, full lock on as quickly as you can, handbrake on. Camera on the road here again, looking left and right, make sure it's safe. Handbrake on again, look left and right. And then again, once your turnabout is completed, they'll usually ask you to pull in for the hand signals, make sure you know them, and then you pull off again. So moving out, mirrors and signal. Nice and slow. Over the ramps. Next left. next junction we'll be turning right. So this is in the Timon Estate. That was Timonville Road we were on there. Just a good idea to stay in second gear here. These ramps are quite high. Following the road around to the left. No need to indicate there, you can't go anywhere else. We see a van up ahead, so we're just moving out nice and slowly. At the end of this road then we're going to be turning right. Just keep an eye, this car coming up here, but they're turning in. Once it's safe then we just carry on. End of the road then we're turning left back onto Castle Timon Road. This is more of an open junction, so if there's nobody there you can go out just that little bit faster, but make sure you take good observation. Down to the lights here we're going left. Just back out onto Green Hills Road. Okay, the arrow has come on here, so we're just going to move off. So if the solid green light comes on, you can obviously go on that as well. Check the left mirror, make sure no cyclists coming up. Back onto Green Hills Road, try and stay out of the cycle lane. Then at the next junction we'll be turning right onto Maybury Road. Mirrors and signal. We have the arrow at the moment, so if that stays on we can go back down into second gear. So even if it changes now like there, you're still going to go, because otherwise it'd be unsafe to stop. Here the cycle lane is about the same width as the driving lane, so you must drive into the cycle lane, otherwise you're going to be crossing the continuous white line and going into the right turning lane for cars coming the opposite direction. Obviously if the cyclists are around, then they will have priority. Proceeding on up Maybury Road. Again, staying out of the cycle lane. So here the lane is wide enough for us to drive in. At the end of this road we'll be turning left onto Bellegarde Road. Traffic's starting to move now, so make sure you're ready to go with them. Once we pass the entrance into the industrial estate here, we're going to be indicating left, so indicate left and keep to your left. You apply the handbrake. Keep an eye on the arrow here. Good chance you'll get a left turn arrow before the solid green light comes on. Okay, as soon as the arrow comes on then, make sure you check your left mirror for any cyclists, and we're turning into the left lane. Always into the left lane unless it's blocked or unless the tester tells you you're going to be turning right. So stay in the left lane. This is a 60 zone here, so again if you can get up to 60 and into fourth gear, that's what the testers will be looking for. Take the next left down Ayrton Road. So mirrors, signal. Again, make sure you check your left mirror before turning here. You could have cyclists coming down the cycle track. Back down onto Tallaght Road. It's 50 zone here again. It's easy to go over the speed limit, particularly if there's nothing in front of you. We're going to then be taking the next left onto Maybury Road, so just past the Cycle Superstore. You see the post box on the corner, so mirror signal, and moving back into the left, back down into second gear. So the truck is obviously going to be turning a bit wider and it's going to be quite slow, so always anticipate that. Looks like he's going to pull in here. He's turning right, so we're just going to again hold back, make sure he clears the way, and then proceed on. Never assume he's going to get out of your way quicker than you think. So around the bend here, then we're just coming back towards the test center. Just make sure you stay on your own side. Tester will just mention that you're coming towards the end of your test, and he'd just like you to find your way back into the test center and find a suitable place to park. So and nice and easy. Taking it slow going in second gear, and then once you're in, just go back into first gear, look left and right, and just find a suitable place then to park. And that's the end of Route 2.